All right, so from the time that we arrive, so what we're talking about now, so I can get edit my video right, is what to do at the listing appointment. Everything that we do is a script. Okay, we're not on the fly making up stuff. What we wear, how we drive up, where we park, everything we do is a script. Because this is what you know. When you guys have a party at your home and it starts at 7 o'clock in the evening and you have one of your best friends in the house with you, you guys are getting the party ready, and you're working to the last possible second, hoping nobody really shows up at 7, but we all know we have that one friend that shows up on time, right? They show up on time. We all have that one friend. And then you're looking out the window to see who's there at 7. The same thing is what a seller's doing for you. They have kids. They tell their kids, hey, we got a listing agent coming to our house at 7 o'clock. The kids are looking out the window, the mom, dad, somebody's looking out to see if you're on time. So number one, always be 5 minutes ahead of schedule, right? When you ring the doorbell, you should be 5 minutes ahead of, if you're 7 o'clock, 6:55, right? Because to be on time is to be what? Jill knows, there's a Marine.
Late.
Be late. To be on time is to be late. You know,
My brother taught me that. He's a Marine too.
Absolutely. So was my dad, a Marine. He's like, I told you to be here at 7 o'clock, Anthony. It's 7 o'clock. Why are you late? We have a meeting at 9:30. I give a 5-minute grace period. Why do I do that? Because I know how most people are. But be on time. Don't be 5 minutes late to your listing appointment, because high D won't hire you. I don't care what your track record is. They won't hire you. So if you're late, that says something about how you run your business, and then how you'll be running the business of selling my home. And I don't work with people who are not 100% into their business, who have one toe in the water. All right, so let's talk about it. So when you arrive at the place, number one, I don't care if it's raining, wash your car. Okay, make sure you don't show up to somebody's house with a car that is not washed. Number two, do you park in the driveway or on the street?
Street.
Hello? Street. Always park in the street. You gotta get permission. Can you go park in your neighbor's driveway right now?
Absolutely. No.
Absolutely. You get permission to park in somebody's driveway. If they don't, you don't ask for that. They just let you know or not. So park on the street. Don't park in people's driveway. Right. Especially if you have a nice car. If you have a nice car, it's even better, because when they open the front door and they see a nice washed car in the pouring down rain, they're like, wow, you have a nice car. So and you're dressed nice. They already assume something about you. Remember, you only have 8 seconds for people to get a first impression of you. 8 seconds. That's it. 8 seconds. That's all you have. All of us have the same 8 seconds. That's all you have. Psychologically proven. People make a decision about you in the first 8 seconds they see you. That's it. And it's either something that they agree with or something they don't agree with. So make sure you're always on point. So how you dress matters, right? Just because my wife's Jamaican, just because my wife's Jamaican and might like a lot of colors, you may not want to do that. I mean, I'm not saying you got to keep it conservative. You got to be your own personality type, but I would say know your client, because you talk to them on the telephone, hopefully, and within 30 seconds you can disprofile them because you know how to disprofile people and you know what type of person they are. And you went on Facebook and Instagram and you looked them up, right? That's what you should be doing. You should be looking your clients up on Facebook, Instagram, seeing what they do, seeing how they dress, see are they a family-oriented person? Are they a business-oriented person? You should know a lot about your client before you even show up to the home. Because if you know their first name, last name, the city they live in, Facebook will tell you everything about them. If you could go Anthony Thornton, Lawrenceville, Georgia, you see what I do, right? And so that's a professional salesperson. You're going to get a listing. Me and Joe made $35,000, $50,000 on one listing a couple months ago. Almost $50,000 between the buy and the sell. So if you're going to make $50,000 on one client, I think you should wash your car, even if it rains. I think you should dress appropriately, even if it rains. I think you should already have your Wi-Fi thing in your bag already on and not ask your client to use their Wi-Fi.
Right.
A person that makes $50,000 a sale doesn't do stuff like that. Right? Just, okay, y'all with me? Y'all with me?
Yep.
Make sure y'all with me, because I don't know if y'all with me. I might be losing you. Okay, this is high level thinking, high level. Don't just show up and see what happens. That's what agents that make $45,000 a year do, and then we come behind them and we clean up and take their client. All right, so you show up, you dress properly, your car is clean, you do not park in people's driveway. We're talking about what to do at the listing. You ring the doorbell 5 minutes before. When you ring somebody's doorbell, you always step back, right? Don't just be right up on somebody's door. I keep a 9mm on me at 24/7. Don't just stay at somebody's door like you live there or you about to put a key in the lock. You take a couple steps back. You know, when people try to solicit you at your home, they always, when you come to the door, they like way back. You do the same. And then when you show up, they open the door. You're like, hi, my name is Anthony Thornton. You hand them something of value, which is a thank you card. A thank you card. Please go online or Walmart or Target, invest in a simple thank you card. It'll go a long way, already filled out. And it goes like this. Hi, my name's Anthony Thornton. I brought you this thank you card for allowing me to come to your beautiful home. 1, 2, right? They go, all the D's, high D goes. Persons that they like you. And because you did it in your first 8 seconds, right? They like you. Okay, this is a script. You step inside the front door. They close the door behind you. Most people are trying to lead you somewhere. And you say, especially, it doesn't matter, male or female. You say, all right, you know if you're meeting with husband and wife, right? Or husband and significant other, or significant other with same-sex marriage, whatever it may be, doesn't matter. You'll say, hey, Jill, thank you for allowing me to come to your beautiful home. Is your significant other here as well? They go, yes. And normally the wife will call the husband into the foyer. We don't leave the foyer. We're standing there for a reason, right? And then we go, once we meet the other person, just want to say, hey, thank you for allowing me to come to your beautiful home, Mr. Smith. And then, is there a place I can put my bag down? This is a script. Now they'll say, yep. Dining, because a lot of people want to just sit in the living room and chat, but if you sit in the living room and chat, how are you going to show your PowerPoint, which you know is coming on your laptop, or VIP buyer presentation? Are with me? Okay,
Yep.
So you want to select a dining room table, kitchen table. You know that you need a plug to plug your laptop in. So make sure you are eyeing the place for that. You're like, okay, well, great. Which they'll say, well, you can be in the dining room or the living room. We never want the living room, because the living room is not comfortable for us to show our PowerPoint presentation, right? Because we do show and tell. We don't just tell. We're kindergartners. And so we'll choose the kitchen or the dining room, and we'll position ourselves where there's a plug. And then we'll also never, ever, especially if you're a guy, or never sit at the head of somebody's table when you go in their house. Okay, especially if they got a husband. Don't do it. Okay, don't do it. Right? That's just a sign of respect. And sometimes the husband will say, oh, just sit there. Don't do it. It's a setup. Don't ever go in somebody's house and sit at the head of their table. You don't pay any bills there. Okay, so keep that in mind. Even if they offer to you, just say, no, that's fine. And you sit on the side, and like where the kids would sit. And then you want to make sure that you position them side by side. Always position them side by side. So if the husband wants to sit at the top, make sure the wife pulls her chair over, or if it's a single lady, you know, put her at the top of her table, because I'm sure that's where she sits when she has her kids as well. You want to make sure they're side by side. That's very key, because you got to read body language throughout your presentation. Most people marriage goes in most cases like this. One person's a high D, one person's a high I. Very rarely do 2 high Ds marry. Very, very rare do 2 high I's marry. They'd be broke. So you gotta wait, you know what I mean? You already know that when you walk in there, especially if you talk to the person you probably talked to with the high I. or it could be the high D, but most time it'll be a high, right? High D is only 8% of the marketplace, 8%. So keep that in mind. It's a small percentage, less than 10. All right. So, all right. So we did that. So we put our bag down. We know the plug is near. We know exactly where they're going to sit. Very importante. We know where they're going to sit. And then we'll say, okay, now who's going to walk me through the home? This is what you're going to ask the seller. Who's going to walk me through the home? And they'll kind of look at each other. We know most of the time it'll be the awesome wife, but sometimes guys, they want to walk you through their home, because especially if they have a super nice home and he's proud of it, because they're paying a lot of money for it. We start at the front door. Start at the front door. And what's at the front door if we look up? Anybody? If we're at the front door and we look up, what's above us?
Light,
There's no
the light
sign.
or the camera.
Chandelier.
Upstairs.
Andre says what?
Chandelier.
Okay, let's start there. Okay, chandelier. We always start with the same verbiage. Here it goes. Hey, is this chandelier staying? Or are you taking it with you? Oh, it's gonna stay with the house, Anthony. Oh, the reason why I asked is because if it's not staying, we want to take it down with us later, people will maybe pay you $5,000 or $10,000 less for the home. So if we're gonna switch it, let's just switch it now, because I want you guys to get the most amount of money. Stop right there. Remember, showed up, nice car. You don't have to have a nice car. You don't have a nice car, park down the street and walk up. Okay, we all been there. But you better go to Goodwill and get you a suit. Because I give a lot of good suits to the Goodwill. When I first got started, I was buying my suits from the Goodwill for $20. Standing in front of a room, and I was thankful. All right. So you got a nice car, you dressed appropriately, you gave them a thank you card, you were very respectful, you made sure you met both people, you put your bag down, you went back to the table, you came back to the foyer by the front door, you looked up and said, is the chandelier staying or going? They saying it's going to stay most of the time, or some people be like, no, it's going. And then you told them how you want them to get the most amount of money. They love you at this moment. They love you. You're doing it. You guys are in love at this moment. All right. So then you don't walk them through their house, they walk you through the house. And so make sure, I'm just going to be 100 with y'all. A lot of times the wife will walk you through the house, but here's the game inside the game. The wife walks you through the house, then they want you to follow, and then the husband wants to follow you. Right? That's a dangerous situation, number one, because as a male, I don't want to be walking upstairs looking at his wife's butt. I know y'all think this stuff is weird, but I'm telling you, I track a lot of this data. So a lot of times I'm like, all right, Mr. Smith, Mr. Smith, hey, walk us through. I try to get them to do it together so I can walk, not behind the wife. As a man, I want to walk behind the husband, right? Because people are weird about their situations, and there's a lot, 50% divorce rate. You don't know what's going on, right? I don't know what I'm walking into. Yes, I have my gun on me at all times, trust me, but I don't know what I'm walking into. I don't know why people are selling yet, all those good things, because I haven't talked to. So I want to follow the husband, especially if I'm a guy. Females, y'all can kind of just, all the women love y'all, but be careful. Females, especially when you're showing a house with a male, if you find out ahead of time that it's a male only sale, I would bring somebody with you to the listing appointment. One of the people here, or your best friend, or girlfriend, or don't bring another man with you, especially if he's a hardcore kind of guy. Don't do that. They don't want people to think you're about to rob the place. But understand that. That's why you should call them and fill them out. Hey, this is Anthony. It's my assistant Kim just booked the listing appointment with you, and just got a couple questions before we come out to get your home sold, because I got about 15,000 buyers on my database, and I know at least 10% of them interested in your area. Why are you selling? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. They'll tell you all about their situation, right? And then you feel a little safer when you go there, because people are crazy. You guys all read the real estate reports. You guys read all the real estate reports about what's happening out here and what's happened to a lot of ladies and stuff going to see, listings, right?
Hold on, baby. Mama can't really walk like that. You want me to walk to the...
Who do I need to block? Somebody's talking to me. Okay. All right. Good. All right. So be careful about that. That's why you don't just show up to an appointment. You should call and fill them out ahead of time. If you don't feel comfortable over the phone with that phone call, just if you're on my team, let me know. I'll go do it or not do it. It doesn't matter. Follow your gut though. Always follow what you feel. There's no amount of money that can replace you. Okay, so that's why you should call the leads. Another reason for calling the leads. All right, so they walk you through the home, and most of the time, people are gonna what? They're gonna walk up the stairs, or they're gonna show you the kids' rooms, and you know, what are you looking for? I mean, this is just statistical data. Okay, you're looking for clutter and dirt. That's what you're looking for. Anything that looks cluttered and dirt, you want to make sure that you pay attention to. You're looking up to see if anything's been leaking in the house that they're not telling you about. And you know, remember, whatever you have knowledge of is whatever you have knowledge of. So be careful what questions you ask if you don't want knowledge of certain things. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Because they have to fill out a seller's disclosure, and what they put on a seller's disclosure and what they tell you is two different things, because no matter how much a client likes you, they will flip on you if they start to get in a situation where things could go south, right? And they
I
go, right?
I have a question. What if they tell you stuff that doesn't affect the material value of the house, but maybe we have disclosures for?
Like what?
Like maybe there's a sex offender in the neighborhood or something.
You don't have to broadcast that. There's something called caveat emptor, buyer beware. If a buyer's gonna buy, I mean, just because a person is a sex offender in the neighborhood, like we're not the police or the judge, they let them out. So maybe according to the justice system, they serve their time, but we're not the police, right?
Right.
If I have a sex offender across the street from me, you know how we were all raised anyway. What, your kids ain't running rampant in your neighbor's house anyway, right?
Right.
You got to still protect your kids no matter what, because guess what? We don't know, because most people don't search for sex offenders,
Yeah.
right? So now you don't find anything about the house that's negative and you have knowledge of, you got knowledge of. So try not to get knowledge of too much stuff. So, all right, so just keep that in mind, because whatever you have knowledge of, you have knowledge of. And trust me, it could be a sticky situation. All right, so you're walking through the house. They're showing you both parties. Hopefully you're a good enough salesperson to get both parties showing you the house. Oh, my wife will show you. No, you're here too, sir. I just want to see what you like most about the house as you're walking through. Or he may stay down in the family room, which is even better, right? We want them both together, because when we're getting ready to start saying stuff throughout the house, we're going to pre-close them before we get back to the table. All right, so they're both walking us through the house, because we definitely want both of them walking us through the house. They're showing us rooms. We're looking for clutter and dirt. And, you know, as we see it, we're like, oh, okay, you know, what happened here? Da-da-da. And they'll be like, well, you know, our house isn't 100% ready. You know, all people say, it's not 100% ready. Okay, great. Just want to make sure, because the top two things that buyers are looking for are clutter and dirt, right? If there's clutter and dirt, they're assuming that there's other stuff wrong with your home. They're trying to find a reason not to buy your home, not a reason to buy your home. Right? That's what's happening here. And so make sure everything I'm saying, you guys should be saying. This is a script. So they walk you through the house. It's about 3 minutes have passed, and I'll say the same thing every single time, because this is how I was taught. Hey, just curious, if I had a buyer in my car or a briefcase full of cash, and I do not have that, what would you take for this home? And they'll say whatever number they say. Remember, if the number is whatever came up on our pricing, if it's in that range, we say what?
I can definitely sell your house.
Definitely sell your house, because we know the 6 human needs is what? Number one thing on the list is what? People want certainty. Certainty. So hopefully you guys have on your computer, like I have mine, the 6 human needs. People want certainty, right? Certainty. And so I have a sticky, I said it. Yeah. Sticky, right? Certainty. This is what people want. Certainty. All right. If they say a number that's way above where you search, we say what?
How did you come up with that number?
Come up with that number, right? I just come up with the number. And they'll tell you whatever story they need to tell you. There's nothing else you need to say. You just now you know when you get back to the table, because you know what the numbers show in your bag, on your notes in your bag. You know what the numbers are. Now you're like, okay, my research showed the house was 400 to 425, and they're saying I wouldn't sell this house for under 500,000. You don't get into a verbal war with them because we'll list a home at any price that they want. Doesn't matter to us because the goal is not to sell the house. The goal is to do what?
Get more
The
leads.
listings,
Get more listings.
more
and more
buyers.
clients. Absolutely, to get clients. That's the only goal of a listing. You would not take the listing unless you could attract more buyers and sellers to it. Although, you wouldn't list a crack house, right? You wouldn't list it. You would list a home that, man, decent, average, every family could live there, or upscale, somebody could live there, or a first-time home buyer, right? And then your goal is to get, really, the number's 8, just so you know. 8 more buyers or sellers, combination of both, for the home. And if you got 1 more, it'd be worth it. Most real estate agents want to, what? As soon as they get a house, they want to go under contract. I don't even think the house we have under contract, we put under contract. Did we, Ashley, in Florida?
I'm sorry.
The house the listing we listed in down in Destin, did we put it under contract online or no?
No, I put it that is pending,
Okay,
but we still get calls for it.
yeah. So I don't even do that. I normally just let it ride until a real estate agent says something. Because I want to keep my phone ringing as much as possible to get more buyers. Can't get more sellers. I don't even make it pending. I just let it sit out there and sit out there and sit out there until the agent says, "Oh, the house doesn't show pending." "Oh, okay, we'll get to that." "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll have my assistant." "Yeah, you got the house, maybe you got a contract. I'm trying to see if I can get some more." I'll just tell them, "Fine, I'm trying to see if I can get some more buyers for some other properties I have." They'll go, "Oh, okay, that's smart, Anthony." Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, so you walk into the house, they told you what the price is. Now you know what work you have to do to get back to the table. Okay, go through the whole house. Man, however big the house or small the house is, it could take X. And you're looking at everything because what you're thinking about is the inspection, right? You already know what's going to come up on the inspection. It's the same old stuff over and over and over. Anything considered a big deal is what? Plumbing, electrical, foundation, and roof. That's it. Anything else is probably cosmetic. And if it needs to be painted, people want to paint the house. If they do want to paint the house interior, what color should they paint it?
White.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay. What if their daughter's room is pink and they're thinking, should I leave it like this or paint it?
Paint it.
I say leave it.
Oh, leave it. Okay.
Why? Delays me getting my home on the market. Delays me getting buyers and sellers, more buyers and sellers. People expect the child's room to be kind of fun, right? Hopefully. We need to probably have our rooms more fun, I guess. Kids are, whatever. So keep that in mind. Your goal is to get the home on the market in the best condition that it can be. Don't put a home on the market that's ready to go on the market. That's not smart, right? Because it only takes 8 seconds to get a first impression. We're looking at landscaping. We're looking at, if you have to get into a little disagreement over price, what's a good suggestion? How about we order an appraisal? Right? Why don't we order an appraisal? It's going to be $550. Are you willing to do that, Mr. Heidi? You know it all. You got that big bank. Yeah. Okay, great. We can do that. All right. I'll get that order today. Boom, boom, boom. I'll send you the link for, let's get Mr. Murphy in Beaufort on the phone and give him a call. We'll do it right here. And then you can just get your credit card out, pay $550. We'll have an appraisal back. We know exactly how much the home will be worth. Sound good? We don't have to argue with anybody. We don't have to argue with anybody. Okay, so they walk us through the house and then.
A quick question, Anthony.
Yes.
If they did want to get that appraisal, right? Can that appraisal be used for the closing, or that has to be ordered from the lender?
Yeah, it has to be ordered from the lender.
Okay, so they pay it twice.
Yeah. Well, the buyer's going to pay for it.
Yeah.
The buyer's going to pay it, I'm saying if the seller wanted to pay for it up front. And there's different types of appraisal. There's a full appraisal. There's a drive-by appraisal. So your buyer, your seller, you want to talk to them. If they want to pay for an appraisal, you want to talk to them in a full appraisal. Why? Because what if the appraisal comes back and it's in your range? You can just connect it online and market it. Like here, appraisal attached to listing, just like you guys do with seller property disclosures and things of that nature. Just attach it. If you got the house listed for 400 and appraised at 420, attach it. I would love for 100% of the sellers to get an appraisal, really. But I would tell you less than 1% will do it. 'Cause they like.
There's also desktop.
Yeah, desktop, there you go. That's 3 different types of appraisals. So keep that in mind as well. And the only difference is a full appraisal is gonna show the condition. But if you got a house that's in pretty good condition on the interior, do a desktop like Simone said, or drive by. It's probably $200 or $300. You might tell them, hey, we'll split it. I'll give you, take $150 off my commission at closing. Don't get stuck on traditional ways of doing real estate, guys. Get deals done and get money in your bank account, whatever it takes. I'm not paying any money up front, but if we can sell your house 150, it's $300. I don't care about giving up $150 of my commission at closing. I can care less. If it's gonna make or break me getting the listing, and I know I could sell it. So, in fact, I'm so good at pricing homes, I already know what it's gonna come back. I already know within $5,000 or $10,000 because I know how to price a home. So I'm in full confidence on X. All right. So we have sat down with them. We build rapport. We do our VIP seller presentation. You guys have the link to it right here. Here it is. I have some pre-recorded presentations. I don't know for the sell side. I might in the Google Drive, and then the documents on what to present. You already know you should be ready for some objections. You should be studying those every day, like our inside sales team does. They meet every single day. You should be ready for some objections like, how much is your commission? What happened? I had some buyers look at my house myself. I was trying to sell it myself. What if I find a buyer? You guys know we have a flexible commission program where if they find their own buyer, we make 0. But if they could find their own buyer, guess what? They would already found. And we don't care if they find out their own buyer or not, because why? We just want to get more buyers and more sellers. Y'all with me?
Yeah.
And then you have your signage. Your signage should be different than what most real estate agents have. Like I'll send you some pictures of my signs. They got QR codes on them, all kinds of stuff that leads them to the cash offer website. All my stuff is EXP approved. And so it looks different than what an average real estate agent sign looks like. It talks about buy this home, I'll buy yours, that type of stuff. Trying to see if I have a picture of it somewhere. But so I can kind of show you a little something. Good Lord. Sorry, guys. Hey, EXP presentations. Your sign should be it's about marketing. Don't just have the standard sign that's out there. Let me show you what the top of one of ours looks like.
Also, just so they know, EXP does not mind you putting your name bigger than the EXP sign. They really want you to promote yourself. So, just so.
So check on with your state though, because most states, I got a $300 fine 2 years ago. Most states want it has to be equal, but
In Florida,
nobody's riding around checking. It's just a real estate agent was mad at me because of the way I market, and they told me I had to pay a $300 fine. So like at the top of our signs on my listings, this isn't my EXP sign, but it says buy this home, I'll buy yours. Be different, right? Just if you need some help coming up with a unique selling proposition for your sign, then we can help you do that as well, okay? Because you got to have something that makes you different versus just the picture, the balloon, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't work, okay? You just average when you do stuff like that. All right, so the presentation, we could really stop there. We got about a few minutes because I know we got Shelley's meeting today. All right. You guys click this link. Here's the VIP seller benefits meeting. Obviously, you guys should have this already. Most of you guys, if you don't, then you need to get it. And I will tell you, when you use these presentations, most real estate agents don't, you're gonna make more money. We charge more money, we sell homes for less. There's a reason for that, okay? All right, so you have the whole presentation here, and I would just go through it and make sure everything was exactly how you wanted it to be. All right. I want to fix the sign. Okay, cool. All right, so it's all here. So make sure you go through it and you practice it as well. All right. The docs, how you present certain documents in a certain order, like we'll get to that in the next coming weeks. That's a whole training by itself. The objections you should be studying on your own. I mean, bottom line is, people have asked me, I charge 7.5%, $597 up front. I'm getting 50% of all the profits above what we agree upon. I'm coming in with a real hard sales game on monetary. So some people, what I've heard, you know, to myself personally is, Anthony, well, why would I pay you 7.5% when another real estate company is only charging 5%? You gotta know what to say, right? And their simple response is, hey, Mr. Smith, if they're not willing to fight for their commission now up front with you, what do you think they'll do when it's time to get your home sold? They'll just take whatever. Because getting a home sold does not mean they're selling at the highest price. Would you like to get your home sold at the highest price possible? Yeah, but I want to pay you 7.5%. Okay, no problem. Well, what do you think is fair for you, fair for me to get the house sold? What do they say? I don't care what they say, because I know one thing, I am not walking away with less than 4% at the closing table. So if they say, well, will you do it for 5%? What's my answer? Yes. Because other agents getting 1%. Will you do it for 4%? Absolutely. Will you do it for 3.5%? Absolutely. Will you do it for 3%? Absolutely. I could care less, because I'm going to get my money regardless. You guys understand that? You don't have to give up. There's no law that says you have to give 50% of your commissions to a realtor.
Right.
There's no law on this planet that says it, okay? Because we offer 0. Right? The reason we do that is because when we used to offer 2% and 2.5%, we would fight with realtors, right? Because they would get upset. But now when it says 0, they say, is this right, Anthony? Yeah. Well, how do I get paid? I said, well, you can put in special steps what you would like, and I can talk to the seller about that, or you can get it from your buyer. Well, which would you, or a combination of both? What would you like? And I'll tell you, 95% of the time, agents put 2%. That's what they put.
Right.
I wouldn't put that, because when I've been in the reverse, I put 3% in the special steps. When I was the agent, and I don't care what they offer. I just like, all right, 3% to buyers, buyer broker, right? Put in special steps. Because I know I'm getting my other 0.5% to 1% from my buyer. I know that, because I've already negotiated that from day one before I even got to showing them one house. I did that on the Zoom call or face-to-face. Told them what my commission was. I will not make less than 3.5% on a deal 90% of the time.
One person said to me, is that legal? I don't think that's legal.
Who, a real estate agent?
Yeah. When on one of my listings, they're like, am I reading this right?
Yeah, you're reading it right. And then how much did we pay him? 2.5?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Any questions about that? Because I'm not going over the docs today. I'm not going over the presentation today. I'm not doing that. The docs is the next training about the documents, how to present them in a certain order. Everybody on the planet does things differently. Only thing I can do is show you how we do it. I'm not saying it's the best way on the planet, but you guys have seen the altars, and Jay-Z says, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie, right? So you got to become a good negotiator on negotiating the above the listing price and all that. Me and Ashley did it with the last seller. They wanted the house that, he said he thought he could get 349. And I said, well, what about anything above 349 can we get? And he was like, yes, or no, or you have to ask. If you don't ask, you will not receive. It's
Yeah,
just like,
closed mouths don't get fed.
pardon?
Closed mouths don't get fed. Mhm.
Absolutely. Most agents just go, okay. And I'm like, oh, okay. You're gonna take 0? I love realtors. I don't want a realtor to get 0 off on my listing. And I've never paid an agent 0 unless they're just a straight up jerk. Then I'll let them negotiate with their buyer and I'll keep the whole 7.5% for me, right? But it's up to me. It's not up to my seller. Our sellers are hiring us to run the listing. They're not hiring us. They don't want to hear our problems. They don't want to hear anything about why something's not working. The only thing they want is for you to present verbally, or we use Loom because we don't send offers to sellers to review. Half the real estate agents can't even understand a contract. A seller can. Okay. So all we do is send them a video. I can send you a copy of a video that we sent. Maybe you can drop it in here, Ashley, so they can see it, that we sent Jerry last week. A copy of a video we sent. This is how you should be presenting offers to your sellers. Okay. Tell them about the offer, tell them about the client, showing them on Zoom what it looks like, and really the bottom line is what they're going to net in their bank account. Because that's all they care about. But when you do stuff like that, they go, wow, this guy's super professional, or this lady's super professional. I want to refer them to more of my clients. And it works with high net worth clients. It also works with people who are not high net worth, regular Americans, but equal people will be impressed with you. Cool beans?
Hey, Anthony,
Hey,
so if I'm understanding, let me clarify what I heard.
Okay.
You're not showing the seller the offer, or you're not giving them the offer to review. You're showing it to them on Loom or Zoom.
I recorded a video.
Okay. And then
Not showing it to them though. You do know that.
say it again.
That is the same as showing it to them.
Okay. So I guess where I'm having the disconnect is if you have, so I'm used to, if I have an offer, to submit it to the seller for approval. If you have more than one offer, I'm used to submitting it to the seller for them to decide. But what you're saying is you're deciding and not the seller?
Oh, absolutely. If I get
Okay.
5 offers, I never in my life have shown a seller 5 offers. I just say, hey, we got 5 offers. Here's what I think based on me interviewing them, contacting the lender, so far this looks like the best offer for you. And I'll send them a video and they go, okay, Anthony. Yeah, I'm not, you gotta remember if I sent you guys, I'm not saying you guys, if I sent realtors 5 offers, come on, man. You know how realtors are. Average homeowner definitely is not going to be able to understand and read through all that. And you're causing them a problem is what I'm saying. You're not helping them by showing them something different. You're causing them a problem. You're making more work for them. When you said in your presentation, what? Hassle-free loan process, hassle-free buying process or selling process.
So when they say a part of your fiduciary duty is to present all offers to sellers, when you do the Loom or Zoom, that is you fulfilling that, but not actually having to put it in their hands.
No, what's the difference?
Okay.
I don't see the difference.
Perspective.
Yeah, I don't see the difference. There's nothing legally that says I have to physically send you a contract when I'm showing you the contract on Loom.
Yeah.
Right, there's no reason for me to do it. I think this is it right here. Let me double check. I'll just show you real quick. It's 3 minutes. It's not long.
And to be honest, he didn't even want to watch it like immediately. He called and was like, yeah, can you give me the notes? And then he watched it.
Yeah. So
Okay. Again, different.
You got to be different. You want referrals. Remember, you only work for referrals and testimonials. All right, Jerry. Looks like, man, we have talked to several buyers on your home, and we have an offer in writing. This was not easy to get. Remember, we had your home listed at $299,999. I convinced the buyer to pay $21,000 over asking price, $21,000 over. So Ashley, so we told him we had multiple offers, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did a really wonderful job with this, and so did I. We talked to him and got everything squared away last night. So 320, and the good thing is there's a due diligence of only 2 days. And so what happens in the due diligence? First of all, these guys wanted a 7-day due diligence, and I didn't want a 7-day due diligence. I wanted a 0 to 3 days. So they gave us a 3-day. They get the inspection done. They come back and tell us whether or not they needed any repairs done. We say yes, no, or we may give financial compensation, or we'll work it out from there. Looks like the closing date here, if you look on page 2, line item 53, is August 19th, because it is an FHA loan. This is awesome. The real estate agent's an Air Force person. I'm an Air Force person. You're an Air Force person. And the person who's buying comes from a military family as well. So looks like we have the right family. It's a husband and wife. They have 3 kids apiece, some older, some younger. They really like the property to live in. They like the area. They like the land behind it. And so this seems all of the stuff that he told us he liked about the house before we listed it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, this is strategic. Okay, everything that he told us he liked about the house, guess what? They like about the house. So he says, "Oh, they're like me." Okay, this is a script, just so you guys know. That's why you got. It's like a perfect home for them. So one last caveat to the deal is, remember we offered a decorator allowance, right? Decorator allowance. So on a decorator allowance, they ended up needing $12,800 towards closing costs. I talked to their lender last night, and they definitely need it, right? So this makes the deal work for them. We were offering $15,000. I talked them down to $12,800 because that's really all they need. So basically, doing the math, after paying commissions and after paying the $12,800, looks like you're going to net right around $291,000. So happy to get this done for you, buddy. Sending this over to you for signature, and so we can get everything consummated, moving forward, and transferring this home to a great family, which I'm sure you're happy about. The second piece is transferring the money from this great family over to your bank account. All right, man, give me a call with any questions, concerns, or anything, but we need to get this signed ASAP. Thanks, my friend. Talk at you. All right, Jim. That's how it goes, right?
Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
I would advise you guys to do everything you can on video. Why do I do this? Because otherwise you got to wait for them to get off work and all
Yeah.
that. When you can just send them you can send them this link in a text. They can look at it while they're working. You can get an answer back quick. You're not waiting. Only people that wait in this world are farmers, right? And we know what happens in a drought during the farmers, they go bankrupt. Hunters, get stuff in people's hands, man. Get it out of your hands. That's why when you guys call people, video text them. Nobody wants to talk to you. Video text people. They're
Got
busy.
it.
Everybody's busy. All right.